minus 10 seconds. 9.
Igniter's armed.
8. 7.
Green board.
6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Liftoff.
Highly trained professional people. Dependable and reliable systems. This is Vandenberg Air Force Base. Air Force Space Command's premier spaceport and test range. The 30th Space Wing is the commanding entity and driving force behind this successful and busy launch base. The wing's mission is critical and diverse. It is only one of 2 Air Force units in the United States that conducts spacelift launches and operates one of the largest test ranges. Vandenberg spreads across 100,000 acres of the California Central Coast, boasting 41 miles of beautiful coastline, an ideal geographic location for launching missiles. More than 1,840 space and ballistic launches have originated from here since 1958. Also home of the 14th Air Force, Vandenberg has been called a small city with a workforce of over 10,000. Accessible by air, Vandenberg operates one of the longest paved runways in the United States, over 15,000 feet long. By rail, 24 miles of base-operated spur rail lines. By sea, a 100-foot wide boat dock on South Vandenberg is available to support the transportation of incoming components. As a DoD Major Range and Test Facility Base, or MRTFB, weapon systems, research, development, test and evaluation are major facets of the 30th Space Wing mission. The wing and its western range provide a multitude of launch support services, including launch facilities, instrumentation, flight data, control centers, and communications. The 30th Space Wing supports civil, commercial, and DoD customers. Unique and impressive are the space and ballistic launch sites themselves. In the entire world, only a handful of such facilities exist. Vandenberg is the only site in the contiguous United States set up to place satellites into polar orbit without overflying land masses. The base boasts 7 major space launch sites and is the home of the first Department of Transportation licensed commercial launch site. As a part of ongoing ballistic missile testing and research to ensure the safety of our country, Vandenberg's ballistic sites and Peacekeeper and Minuteman missiles downrange into the Ronald Reagan Ballistic Missile Defense Test Site in the Kwajalein Atoll. The President has directed that Vandenberg be one of the nation's 2 sites to provide a credible initial defense capability, or IDO, against a small number of long-range ballistic missile attacks. In late 2004, 4 interceptor missiles will be placed in Vandenberg silos on alert 24 hours a day, guarding our nation. These 4 missiles will be under the operational control of United States Northern Command. The Missile Defense Agency, or MDA, is currently conducting testing of the Ground-Based Intercept program by having both interceptors and target missiles launched from Vandenberg to demonstrate the system's capabilities. Extensive additional testing is currently being planned to be conducted at Vandenberg to test newly developed upgrades to the system and multiple engagement scenarios. As part of the MDA Extended Test Range, Vandenberg will be home to numerous other MDA test programs. The West Coast Offshore Operating Area, or WICOA, is also the responsibility of the 30th Space Wing. The WICOA is an operation and test area for aeronautical, ballistic, and guided missile programs, which covers an area approximately 200 miles wide and over 1,000 miles long, reaching from the Mexican border to the Gulf of Alaska. Surveillance of air and sea traffic within the Wacoa is received as radar data at the Western Range. Telemetry data can be captured during Wacoa operations and either processed locally or relayed to other locations. The Wacoa is used nearly daily to test our nation's newest aircraft and to develop and practice tactics and procedures. Vandenberg has also been selected to test MDA's Airborne Laser Program. A specially configured Boeing 747 will test emitting a high-power laser beam from the nose of the aircraft and shoot down theater ballistic missiles in their early powered stages of flight. The 30th Space Wing will launch to target missiles which, when destroyed, will fall safely into the ocean. A myriad of satellites are processed in our West Coast facilities, with an impressive cadre of operational space launch missions constantly underway. Satellites are shipped to Vandenberg from manufacturers all over the world. Vandenberg is equipped with a full array of testing facilities to ensure payloads are fully functional after shipment to the base and prior to launch. Both government and commercial personnel operate processing facilities for satellites. Two commercial companies, Astrotech Space Operations and Spaceport Systems International, offer commercial payload processing facilities. On North Vandenberg, the Delta II launch pad, or Space Launch Complex 2, is used extensively to launch medium-sized government and commercial satellites into polar orbit. Orbital Science Corporation launches the Taurus space launch vehicle from a nearby launch site, 576 Echo, for satellites weighing under 3,000 pounds. Additionally, Orbital Science Corporation's Pegasus launch vehicle is processed at Vandenberg and takes off from our runway to launch destinations all over the world. Transitioning from our heritage space boosters, the Atlas II, Titan II, and Titan 4B, two Vandenberg launch sites in South Vandenberg, Space Launch Complex 6 and Space Launch Complex 3, are currently under modification to accept the evolved expendable launch vehicles, the Boeing Delta IV and Lockheed's Atlas V. As a vehicle begins its journey into space or downrange, command and control centers are as important as the launch facility itself. The Western Range Control Center is equipped to support ballistic missile and space launch operations originating at Vandenberg and other national service ranges. Looking towards modernizing operations, a new state-of-the-art control center will support an increased launch tempo. Support involves processing and displaying radar track data, telemetry, command and control, optical tracking, launch, and aircraft control. The Western Range provides telemetry coverage for space and ballistic launches and aeronautical operations, with 2 permanent sites and 2 mobile telemetry vans. The 30th Space Wing maintains and operates 8 radar sites, 5 located at Vandenberg, 2 at Pillar Point to the north, and 1 at Kaena Point on the Hawaiian island of Oahu. The multiple object tracking radar, located over 2,000 feet above sea level on Tranquillian Peak on South Vandenberg, is capable of simultaneously tracking up to 40 objects. The radars are capable of both beacon and skin tracking operations. 3 fixed site telescopes and numerous manned and remote mobile tracking systems provide time-tagged engineering and documentation film and video. Command transmitters are used to issue the destruct command to the missile's flight termination system to destroy an errant missile and thus ensuring the safe operation of the range. From command and control, radar, telemetry, and optics, testing ballistic and interceptor missiles, and our nation's newest and most advanced aircraft, to processing and launching sophisticated satellites, the Western Range's capabilities are unmatched. Vandenberg Air Force Base, an important national asset, playing a pivotal role in scientific and technological advancements worldwide. This is the 30th Space Wing, America's finest professionals, building the best spaceport and test range in the world.